I wish all that was streamed.
What, to talk about you having a sandy vagina invader?
No.
Anyway,
No.
welcome people to that soft intro to how butthurt invader always is. This is the fifth actual session
Verdant
of
once again
Arcane.
mad that he hasn't killed any of us in the first 5 seconds.
We are starting the next mission, which is the long-awaited party being held by the general. The past few days have been somewhat hectic at the Manticorp Tower as Echo Nissa in the flesh has appeared, and not just one of her clones, to the tower to take over direct administration of things. She had received an invitation to this party as well, but even in the invitation, it still says that the general is rejecting pretty much all offers to have Manticorp take over any amount of access to the rupture site, the rift. So she's decided to attend, if only to see if she can persuade the general to change his mind. It is a minor mystery of who the general's deciding to side against. Most of the boss is in ruins, and he has found someone that he apparently is placing his utmost faith into, even after Manticorp provided medical assistance and did a partial facial reconstruction on him.
So he doesn't look like the man on fire.
No, he doesn't.
Shame.
There was some asking for members of the Eris team to re-report the events of the past few weeks and the results of all their missions. I'm supposing that Hans remains silent on the fate of Havoc.
On the fate of Havoc, yeah. If he's interrogated enough, he might let slip the deal. But there's no guarantee that he would.
Really, Nissa? Okay.
Mm.
Alright, so it seems Nissa had enough interest to actually probe a bit more into Hans's affairs to try to get him to speak up.
Alright. You're gonna have to.
Honestly, I'm thinking.
If you want this to be how it is, we're gonna have to do some persuasion and resistance rolls then.
Honestly, I think Peter would be the weak link because he doesn't have any prior connection to anyone.
Keep in mind that Hans.
Yeah.
Hans was given the silent treatment, and she decided to strike at him first.
Yeah. Hans didn't want to talk because he didn't know what the fuck he was going to say. So if you make a contested roll against Hans, then I'd say if you beat him twice, yeah, he'd talk. So
she rolled a 6 just to have interest.
Ah, right. What did Hans
beat that
roll against?
3 versus 5.
Okay, so there's 1. Hans would start to open up. They'd start actually talking about the mission. Say that things weren't quite as they reported. Try and see if you can get the rest out of them then.
So, what did you say about the things not being quite well reported?
Try and get the rest out of them. Make the roll.
Nope.
No.
Four versus
you get
three,
one more.
I guess.
I'll say you get one more. Best of 3. It's it's a bit complicated with, you know how it is on these missions, and he'll mumble along.
Nope.
Nope.
He just sees Fritz standing off in the corner with a gun.
All right,
Hans, Hans
so
won't let
she-
slip. Hans will, just refuse to say anymore.
So she redirects her attentions to Fritz. She asks for what Hans meant about things not being as they were in the report.
That'd probably give you a bonus, let's be fair.
Echo had been brought online. The mission was labeled as a success. What things were inaccurately reported? Cannot hear Wolf Sadler for some reason.
Well, Sadler, if you got yourself muted on your end?
If you're talking, we can't hear you. The Discord thing lights up, but no audio's coming through.
Try reconnecting your mic.
Can you hear me now?
We can hear you now.
Yes.
The first time we hear you all day.
Really now?
Yep.
I suppose you were actually trying to say something all day, but we haven't actually been noticed the mic not lighting up.
we weren't intentionally avoiding you. We weren't actually
We weren't being
trying to
assholes. Sorry.
We might stop now because it's funny, but
All right, so what does Fritz say in front of his boss that looks like his quote-unquote girlfriend?
the boss that his girlfriend is based off.
His girlfriend
Yes.
is based.
Anyways, what would he say?
She has one extra dimension.
Yes, the bad dimension, the third one.
Mm.
So what would he say? Honestly, not sure. You probably try to stall and deflect. So, yes, the people who we thought were responsible, I am not really sure that they weren't just cat paws for someone else. That's basically it.
And did you have any clue about their identities?
I'm afraid not. I could make guesses, but that would be wild conjecture.
Do you want to make the contested rolls now?
Jesus.
There you go.
Haha.
All right, she directs her attention to. Actually, Banks wasn't there.
Banks wasn't there. She directs her attention to Banks somehow.
Peter, yes. Peter would be put under direct interrogation.
Mm-hmm.
Not the first time Peter was put under direct interrogation. Though usually it's Russians. And they're usually asking about the thing he broke in the barracks.
Now, what were the events that transpired on that mission?
We went in, we eliminated the cultists, yes?
Sounds like he's trying to convince himself.
And were the cultists responsible for Echo's condition?
Their computer was connected to a nearby warehouse.
And what was in the warehouse?
I do not quite recall. I never went in. Let the bosses handle it. They went in, say everything's okay.
Everything's okay, but Havoc is dead.
I do not question these things. Fragging officers is very common.
Your commanding officer died on the mission, and there was nothing to report about the conditions in which he died.
I did not see body. Mission was success, was it not?
Ha.
Alright, she lost interest in the matter.
I mean, she could probably try and keep questioning us after or during this mission at the start of it, but
Thing is, Peter really doesn't care and doesn't really know either.
Yeah, he
no,
was
Peter
outside
had
the.
no information.
He
was outside
100% accurately answered every question.
Yeah,
He was outside
he's
with
the
Lucy
only one
Pyre.
who hasn't lied. The only one.
Yeah, and she doesn't even bother asking Lucy Pyre because.
There's no point.
Exactly. All right. She then directs Rob Banks.
These
You
were just
are
questions,
the.
though, like the non-interrogation. Interrogation, she probably get what she wants, but does she want to do that?
She can possibly
she's
do it
curious
very
about-
easily for some of you.
She's curious, and it's an important matter. But does she actually want to interrogate? That's the question. Because let's be honest, our character probably wouldn't exist.
I think she can't afford to interrogate us right now because we need to do the mission. But
that's
she might
thought as well.
afterwards.
All right. She directs Rob Banks to become the provisional squad leader of Eris until the matter's fully investigated. And he is directed to assemble the team for performing bodyguard duty at the Archangel Skoya event.
I wonder which of them looked at the report more sideways, 4-9 or the original Nissa. Fuck do you mean Banks is the provisional leader?
No, that's Nissa's decision.
I mean, yeah.
But as soon as Nissa came to interrogate and give out leadership roles, she left to go do things in her office, reclaiming it from 4-9. 4-9. 4-9. 4-9 addresses the lot of you later, saying to assemble a small squad of men to perform bodyguard duties for the event. You are guarding Nissa herself. She is not able to have clones to the event for obvious reasons.
Now, Banks doesn't know much about Nissa, but he knows that she's more dangerous than he is at the moment.
Well,
maybe
we
with
all
enough
know
explosives
that she can do more than we can.
Maybe with enough explosives, that difference would be equalized. But as it stands,
she's nearly killed Hans. And Hans is a tough motherfucker to kill.
Members of your group had been at this site before, so it's highly recommended to not have those same people there for this event. So as not to remind a Russian soldier that might have been there during the general's first near-death experience.
Good thing that one of us was there.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think Fritz, Hans,
Sergei?
yeah.
No.
Fritz, Hans, and Rob Banks were not there?
We were not there.
The German dream team, well, German Argentinian, weren't there. Nor was the just abject criminal.
49 says that the place is a heritage site to Russia and that it is an extreme cost to the company to start activating explosives in the vicinity. So she is harshly recommending that nobody pack anything that is permanently damaging to the infrastructure of the building.
That's
We're here to
most
keep-
munitions.
We're here to keep Miss Nessa safe. Worst comes to worst, I will start blowing things up. You can dock it up my pay, I suppose.
She says there's a alternative piece of weaponry developed that you can perform tests on versus the civilians and other partygoers if they are of trouble to you.
Now that's
What would
she-
that
interesting.
be?
She hands out 3 sets of earbuds to assume the 3 people chosen. Well, the 3 people, I guess. Yeah, we don't need a 4th member, I guess. Yeah, so it's the 3 party members. These are these earbuds are for blocking out a certain sound wave that in tandem with this device, she hands over a device that is essentially the same shape and size of a USB stick. This device, when open, produces a high frequency signal that causes short-term paralysis in those in the range to hear it.
I'm gonna put the earbuds in, just test it.
Is this pulse anomalous in origin or merely a quirk of biology?
It is a scientific construct of ours.
I mean, it's definitely possible to do it without supernatural stuff.
Correct.
Humans are weak.
That they are.
If you seek to test such things here, I would not recommend that you just try it on any staff, because that will get you written up.
Hmm.
And we
Would
do
it be
not
good
have.
against my pet?
I would not recommend it for your safety.
Hmm. Can I bring
You know,
my
it
pet
might
with?
act like a dog whistle. Not a good idea.
Yeah. Can I bring my pet with me on this mission?
For obvious reasons, the director is not bringing her Type 4 clones. Why would you be able to bring a savage beast with you?
Because it's adorable.
Permission
That's
denied.
Well, its combat power is also immense. Be a good asset if we could just keep it in the van till needed. And yes, I'm not doing the accent anymore, in case anyone's
Good.
wondering.
Yeah, I haven't really tried doing the British accent for Nissa and her clones either. So,
Yeah, I just can't be asked anymore.
well, it's not that I can't be asked, but I'm just shit at doing accents. Anyway, so 49 gives this device to Rob Banks and says that it loses effectiveness beyond 10 meters.
10-meter radius or
10-meter radius, yes.
wonderful. Banks does some quick mental math to see how far he can throw it.
Probably not best for you to throw it because it has to be open all times and it can't just shut. It looks like it's a rather delicate device.
Cellotape.
Just attach it to a fucking boomerang.
So it's closer to a landmine, is it?
Well, it's closer to having an iPod Shuffle, but with more valuable components.
So it has about 5 minutes of battery.
Banks is considering taking it apart and turning it into an explosive, but thinks better of it.
Well, they do have sonic grenades as well, but
well,
all right. So, are you ready to just speed forward to the mission, or do you have any other things that you want to have done first, like cluing Rob Banks in on?
Yeah, Banks is gonna ask what the deal with Havoc is, because he wouldn't get himself killed. And some rumors have been circulating about him not exactly being dead.
Hans wants to see if he can get someone to smuggle his pet out.
I guess Fritz is going to clue in Rob because he trusts him somewhat.
Yeah. I'm sure Hans has someone that he's dealt to on the base that he can convince to do this favor for him.
Would? Would you say Hans or Rob?
I mean, Hans probably has people he's dealt drugs to.
Most definitely.
But I'm not certain they're the best smugglers.
Rob can probably get in touch with the Kingmakers, but pulling a heist at this short notice doesn't seem...
Within someone that's almost as fortified as, well, near the Kremlin.
Well, fortifications mean nothing for people who don't intend on a direct assault. This would be more sneak in, kidnap, sneak out.
Well, there's security features inside Manticorp Tower that aren't just just turrets or something.
I mean, we've definitely gone out of worse places. So,
have you?
Yes, but do we want to go do that? I don't think so.
I mean, it's not as bad as Manticorp Hong Kong, but
well, yeah, because that's their HQ.
No, this is the Moscow HQ.
Well, in Manticorp Hong Kong, you could just bribe someone to let you in.
They are Chinese after all. Alright, so Rob Banks is clued in, and I'm assuming he's also asked to perform an escort mission for Hans's quote-unquote pet.
Yep. It's finished up its gene tree, right?
How much time do we have before the mission?
I'm saying about a week.
Alright, so he might be able to...
And then the clone doesn't need to undergo more gene treatments. Its gene treatments were done a long time ago. It's trying to acclimate.
Oh, so it's just a matter of time. Okay, that's good. Okay. Aside from that, Hans is going to finish up any business he has. Finish any drug deals that he, never fulfilled his end on, and then get paid for that.
And Fritz enjoys the dates during Echo's recovery.
Of course he will.
Banks has to place a few calls, get a safe house or something for the clone pet thing.
Yep.
The question is,
names of drug addicts he knows.
The question is, does the heist happen during or before the mission?
They wouldn't be dumb enough to risk attacking while Nissa's around. Like OG Nissa, that is.
They'd wait till after.
Yep. Means Banks can't really help, but
Oh god, this means we just have a one-off Kingmaker episode where they try to attack the tower.
Look,
the
we just say
entire
that
job just get the fucking pet out alive.
Look, we load the pet into some sort of cargo container, and they just put it on a van and leave.
Get a rag that smells of Hans. It'll lure it out.
To kill, yeah.
Probably.
I mean, it's your pet. It's not like Manticorp is going to ask questions if you want to move it to your vacation home.
I mean, Hans has obviously shown that the thing won't just kill him the instant that they're alone, because he keeps it in his dorm. So
yeah, not just kill him.
Well,
probably eat him too.
Probably, but it's like a monitor list, you know.
It's like keeping a gator as a pet.
Yeah. For most of the time, like, you can almost guarantee that it's fine.
Almost guarantee.
It's just that one time when it isn't is when all the trouble is.
All right. So your character sheets are all changed out now, and it's time for the events.
Should change my character sheet, but
I've done everything. I'll just remember that it's light armor I'm wearing. I don't have the injectors on.
All right, you guys are arrive by. Nissa arrives by car with some escorts of her own. You guys arrive in the van with all your gear, but more fitted formal wear of Manticorp style to this party. It is lightly armored, but it's better than nothing, but it's not heavy equipment.
Yeah.
Now let me just get rid of this because we have your van parked on the premises.
We have the man with the van.
I assume Nissa didn't arrive in that. Yeah, I assume Nissa didn't arrive with the van.
No, she didn't arrive with the van.
No.
Like I said, she had a separate car.
Yeah.
I remember those guys. Those girls.
Oh, let me move that because I don't need that there anymore.
Boris clone things.
Yeah, I have a different image to use for the Boros clones now.
What?
Can I get one of those as a pet?
One of those could have you as a pet, I imagine.
Wait. If he gets one of those as a pet, he can recreate the Boros echo scene.
Exactly.
We'll make $1 billion.
Yeah. Start up our own fucking amateur porn studio.
All right, so you arrive at this.
Do we know we'll get fucking hunted down by both?
Little do you know, you knew just fine.
Oh, A risk worth taking.
No.
I have a dream.
Both Nissa and Boris are gonna send us commissions.
I have a dream.
All right. So
it's the Senator Armstrong. Just I have a dream, Jack.
So anyone we should be wary of during this party? I imagine we acquired some sort of guest list somewhere.
This one has a name.
yes, she's the only one with a name tag.
Okay, so we get dropped off at the front. And we walk out, and this is there, terrifying as always.
Yep. She's arrived. She dismissed the driver to remain by the vehicle. It was actually a long walk. Huh?
Was the driver what was it, Minhuan? Or the Chinese tech guy?
No, he's Asian. He can't drive.
Hans will give Nissa a sad salute.
She passes a cold look upon all of you, and just turns away, lead the way to the party. You guys see the front of the Heritage Building. They have, well, actually, let's see. Boop. There we go. Night. Highlights in front of the building. A lot of, obviously, modern lighting. Just lighting up the front of the entire area, showing that there's several guards on presence at the access ways. It looks like the party has started since there are people within the building from the windows that you can see.
Hans will follow in behind, rest his hand on his C96.
Yep, Banks is just gonna follow behind, be professional about this.
I'm gonna take it out of its enclosed stock though, and I'll just stick that stock on. Hans will just hold the thing.
So from the guest list that you guys had access to, it included several names such as a journalist from Moscow today, several high-end socialites like the mayor of Moscow, his wife, several contributors, the military spending, military funds, people that are of Russian arms production. All these sorts of people are showing up to this affair.
I'm sure Banks recognizes some names.
A couple.
Russian arms production.
All right, and
well, we have to look normal, so Hans is gonna walk up to some women.
Hold on, we have to look like bodyguards, not.
No, try not.
Yep. So Nessa arrives at the front, passes her invitation to one of the guards. He reads it a few times, checks the list, and then stands aside to let her and her escorts in. Within, the place is opulently redesigned to have bare floors for most events, nice crystal chandeliers lighting up the place, a guy playing on the piano in the corner that actually seems to be one of the guests for the party, but I guess he's contributing to the entertainment himself.
Fritz and Hans both shit themselves when they see Boros.
Yes.
Yep. Yeah. Illuminated almost as much as the lighting herself is is of course the white-haired Polak lady that it seems to be in talks with the general. By her side are
Hans
some
is
very
gonna-
familiar guards.
Hans gonna just keep his grip on his pistol tight and his eyes locked onto Boris and the guards.
Yep. Get ready to prime the sonic weapon.
Mm-hmm.
Miss Nessa, how are our relations to Miss Bowers at the moment?
Asking me for a status update. I would easily say that they're not the greatest since we have taken the entity out from under her.
Is she going to try and kill us?
However, we are still somewhat providing funds to the ELF.
So she won't openly try and attack.
At the very least, not so. Keep an eye on her. Nissa goes forward to start interrupting the conversation between Boros and the general, but the journalist lady breaks off from her conversation with the mayor of Moscow to...
Hans wants to intercept.
Okay, Rob Banks and Hans... oh. Don't touch that.
Instantly stop her in her path.
Okay. Oh, my apologies. I'm Irene Chenko. I want to have an interview with your boss. That is Echo Nissa, right? The CEO of Pygmalion.
Not going to say a word to her. Just keep holding my hand up and just look at Nissa. See if she wants to accept.
Nissa had stopped in her tracks and puts eyes upon the journalist. I have a minute.
Just step out the way.
Step out the way. Keep an eye on the journalist, of course. But leave enough room for them to talk.
All right, Irene stays where she is, holding a pen and pad. So I hear that your industries have been spreading out further and further across the globe. You even begun development on those experimental drugs for some cancer patients. She begins to go into a tirade about recent projects within Manticorp, asking some questions that, well, most of you guys don't have any of the curiosity for, or even really medical knowledge of, except possibly Fritz. A little bit of Fritz.
But Banks would keep an ear out for the names, but he wouldn't understand any of the medicine.
Fritz is a bit distracted.
I bet.
Don't stare now.
Oh, Hans is going to stare openly.
No, don't stare now. In fact, try to stare anywhere but there. No need for her to notice you.
You said butt?
Ooh, look, the journalist has one.
I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention. I was too busy looking at the journalist's tits.
Compose yourself.
Oh, not too much to see there, but...
Beats looking directly at Boros.
Anywhere beats looking at Boros. Well, okay, but if she knows you're looking anywhere beats looking at Boros. If she does, it's fine.
How hard do you have to stare at Boros before coins start falling out?
Your stare isn't worth that much. Your own bank account starts draining.
Oh, shit.
She charges you for the privilege?
Yes. Nissa looks aside, seeing how Hans is disturbingly just staring people down. She says, put some distance.
Very well. Hans will just step back.
Mr. Banks, go watch over the crowd and stay on comms.
Yes, ma'am.
Then she starts replying to the journalists' questions in a curt manner. Then after 5 or so minutes, gets her to leave, having satisfied some manner of question answering.
In the meantime, Banks will have casually eavesdropped on the general and Boros.
Yep,
Not
so,
obviously, just, you know.
So, do a quick noticing roll with the general.
Right?
Okay. From what you see, rather than a professional aspect, the general seems incredibly smitten with Boros.
Oh, of course.
If only he knew.
If only he knew, he would say even better.
Yeah. Well, you told him this woman survived the nuke. He just look at her even more.
What would you think if we told him that we were the ones who dropped it on her?
He'd probably shoot us on the spot. The fucking simp.
Yeah, but he partakes in some conversation with someone that, with both Boros and this gentleman that is from in arms manufacturing, talking about how the Russian forces have recently been pushed back from the border near Kursk for some reason, and how the entire area was shut down. There's some concern about how the general war efforts are going, but it doesn't seem like knowledge of the rift or anything has been public among these people.
Can I make a general observation roll to see who's, with my trained sensibilities, who here is a direct threat aside from, Boros and Nissa?
Well, you mean aside from Boros, Nissa, and the soldiers?
Well, yes, like anyone who seems to be concealing anything,
Roll.
Please make the roll for me.
It's a 2.
Let me check what my awareness is. I think I have bonus. 1 second, please. That would be 2, so 4 total.
All right, this lady wears makeup.
How much makeup?
A considerable amount of makeup.
Is she wearing someone else's face?
No, she appears to be using enough makeup to de-age herself by about 10 years. That's what you notice. It is a danger.
So she looks like 12. Okay.
Is it genetic makeup that she's using to de-age herself?
No, it's a lot of concealer.
Look intently at the concealer.
An illusion. What are you hiding?
Concealer? I hardly know her.
Turns out it's just Cyber Joe in a very elaborate costume.
Another woman that could kill us easily. Nice.
So,
just
instead of looking at threats, look at windows.
I don't see any operation software.
If shit goes down, we are just running.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. We did agree that we wouldn't get ourselves involved. That doesn't mean Doesn't mean anyone will die. It just means we won't do anything.
All right.
That was the agreement.
Yep, Nissa stops in her path near the mayor of Moscow and wife to talk to them about mundane business affairs.
Hans will stay with her.
Little schmoozing. How's everything going? Rob Banks is still in on trying to eavesdrop on the conversation, and one of the clones steps
just standing
away,
looking generally bodyguardy.
Oh, you just said the clone stepped away. Maybe it's probably just something to be scared of.
just standing in the way of Rob Banks and Boros.
Don't need to look at them to hear what they're talking about.
No.
True.
You hear about how you hear further about how the further on in the conversation, General is praising Elena's keen mind and connections with some unusual arms manufacturing herself.
God, this man needs to get laid.
He wants to be, but I don't know if it's happening.
Does he have like some sort of light mark? You know, the lightning like scars left.
A lot of that has been a lot of that has done over by expert surgery. It's part of the reason why people can't see your.
Yeah,
it's why people can't see your chitin. The bug juices are not entirely out of your system.
No, they won't be for a while.
I think ever, considering part insect, part machine. Maybe a sliver human somewhere in there.
Why are you talking about your choice of waifus, Brett?
Hans is composed of 4 things: meth, machine, insect juice, and blood.
Human blood, not necessarily.
But why did you describe an average German?
Hey, fuck you.
Hey, they don't take meth anymore.
True.
Sadly, it's illegal now.
It's just cocaine.
It improves work efficiency.
Examining the Boros clone, it
is quite pleasing.
Is it armed, or do they have concealed weapons?
It doesn't have a handgun of any type visible. Its clothes seem very well fitted to really hide much. Though you've been around enough cybernetics to see that there's a very slight indentations of the flesh of the legs that would be some kind of replacement legs everywhere.
So it probably has those on its arm as well, then.
She can probably kick the shit out of us.
Yeah, probably some sort of like blades or whatever.
So does no one comment about the elf ears or the horns?
Nobody seems to comment too much. The other
They'll look, I'd imagine.
They look. Nissa herself, though, has worn something to make the horns look like more a part of some kind of headwear, like a headband of some kind. Though, of course, fancier than that.
Basically, some kind of diadem?
Yeah, something like that.
Also, it's rude to comment on people's ears.
You're not allowed to talk about the noses. Why would they let you talk about the ears? Speaking of, are there any Jews here?
All of them.
They're Russians.
Safety off. I'm just gonna flick it to a full auto. Keep just keep it resting at the side, not drawn fully.
This guy goes off.
Oh, and Hans will take a bite of his meth chocolate. Offer some to Nissa.
She ignores him.
People seem to be
moving around.
Hans is going to just ask Nissa for permission to further investigate the guests.
It is granted.
I'm going to go off and they're gathering towards a piano. I'm going to go talk to them, just see what information I can gather.
Yeah, Banks is going to eavesdrop on the Boros conversation until the Echo until Nissa decides to intervene. Then he's gonna go look, or then he's gonna go chat up the journalist, see what she knows.
Okay, and I guess for the time
is Fritz gonna just stick with Nissa?
Yes, I guess you do bodyguard duty.
Okay.
That'll be fair.
Well, we're all doing bodyguard. We're just doing guest surveillance.
If shit breaks out, being next to Nissa when you're on her side is probably the safest place to be.
Yeah.
But if you're not on her side, God help you.
Well, she probably. I don't think she's going to. She's being more cold than usual, so she knows something's up. She's probably not going to try and save us. She'll leave us to die, most definitely.
All right, so Hans tries to talk up the mayor of Moscow.
And his wife, yeah. Just introduce himself. It's Hans Bitterman.
Hans Bitterman, professional psychopath, at your service.
Professional soldier.
You are a bodyguard for Iko Nissa.
Yeah, I've been working for Manticorp for quite some time. They snatched me off from a competitor, and I must say it's much an improvement.
Are you an executive of some kind?
If I'm to say, executive of violence.
Defense contractor. That's the term.
Yes, the defense contractor, executive of violence. I deal with issues that take some subtlety and some not so subtlety.
I am afraid, friend, that I have no time to speak to a security contractor.
I see.
You may chat up the likes of journalists that appear at party.
Yes, I see. Russians never change, do they? Always the same.
Jesus Christ. Ness is regretting inviting.
Well, it's
people she could have chosen two Germans.
2 Germans and a bomb addict. Though to be fair, her choices are little.
That is true. There's not many people to choose from.
And the fact that she had to bring one less of you is even better.
Alright, on to the next group, and we can resolve Bright's bit now.
Okay. Brian went to talk to the journal.
Yep.
The journal just finished having a conversation with a military donator type who appears to be leaving out of the room and somewhat of a huff. The journalist kind caps off her pen and sees Rob Banks approaching.
Ask one
Yes.
too many pointed questions.
It does appear that I've done so. It is something that often happens in this line of work. You know so much, and these people know so little, and wish people knew less than they. What can I do
Such
for
is the
you?
case everywhere. Oh, just wandering around the party, making sure everything's safe for my bosses.
Well, safe, but we're in the midst of a great deal of Russian military, and there are quite a few bodyguards for, well, just two of the guests that are here. Even the mayor of Moscow didn't bring his bodyguards because the military is here to protect him as well as the general.
Can never be too certain. Gatherings like these have a lot of important people.
Are you well experienced in some agents of mayhem appearing at social events and taking care of a lot of important persons?
Who can say? Who can say? So, learn anything of interest?
Oh, not too much that was unexpected. Getting official statements from a CEO or a businessman or two is always something that makes back page papers. I'm with the Moscow Times, so I gotta at least have something for a story.
Anything gonna make the front page today?
Well, I'm certain something would have made the front page about a general of the Russian military being all puppy dog eyes with some foreign woman that, well, who can say about her background?
I've heard she's Polish. Strange to have a general of the Russian military take such interest.
Polish by descent, but from what my research says, she mainly works in the American theater. She used to be a scientist of some kind.
Who's to say this war won't end with a truce?
Well, it's not against America, is it?
Rob Banks just looks at her as though they both know that that's not true.
Yes, well, we've had quite a few stories bought up from us. No, but I'm certain you have some stories to tell. You're what? Some special forces person now working as a contractor for Manticorp?
It is a very long, mostly classified story. But yes, I am currently working defense for Manticorp.
Oh, and what's the change like? I hear a lot of good military stories, but not many of them are all highly classified.
They pay rather well, and the work's interesting.
And the highly classified stories, are they all under this employer or a prior one you still don't wish to burn bridges with?
The entirety of my life's highly classified for the most part. Previous employees and current ones.
Speaking of which, have you ever heard that story about the incident that happened on an oil rig about a year back? I heard quite a few stories about that one.
Yeah, just the oil rig. No play, no trades whatsoever.
just the oil rig, huh?
Well, trains and people on them are replaceable, but an oil rig.
To be fair, that is a big thing.
That seems like quite a lot of important people were lost on that.
What a poignant story to ask about. Say, you do seem to know more than you've let on, don't you?
I do a lot of research.
Well, extensive research, you would see.
Say, any of the guests in attendance today not who they say they are?
Well, that's a bit of a complicated question. I believe a lot of people have things they don't talk about. I assume, though, you mean people with nefarious intents for other persons at this event?
That was the primary concern.
Well,
I'm always interested in juicy gossip.
Well, of course, there's a long list of juicy gossip, but I guess the biggest offender is someone that's not been in the room. Major Chekhov, who has been attaché of the general for some time, is... I hear he's gunning for the position of the general. And he hasn't been in attendance for this affair, and quite a few of the soldiers here are more loyal to Chekhov and not to general that seems a bit distracted with a white-haired lady. Yes.
Chekhov isn't here, you say? I had just assumed he was outside somewhere. Perhaps the other part of the mansion.
Yeah, I heard he was working at the Kremlin right now, doing some kind of matter over some terrorist incidents that happened in Moscow. Do you know anything about that hotel that had an entire stairwell blown up on?
Oh, horrible thing I've heard.
Oh, so you did hear about it?
That I did. I hear a lot. I hear about a lot of things, even if they don't make public news.
Oh, from which paper? Or is this an internal source for Manticorp?
From which paper? Hold on. Let's call it an internal briefing.
I see.
Safety concerns had been raised, what with our own headquarters being so close by.
Yeah, I heard there was also a rupture somewhere in Moscow a while back. People said there was an earthquake that happened near a burger joint, but there was no earthquake reported on the seismograph. Like someone used explosives underground or something.
It could always be a gas leak.
The entirety of Eris looking at the camera.
It could always be a gas leak.
Yes, and what of the cosplayers that entered the burger joint?
Now, Echo made sure there was no report of those.
That is true.
No, if there's no way they could report it for terrorism, but they can still talk about it.
I guess we're all going to be interviewed by this woman.
I like this woman.
Yeah. We don't want her to die, but we don't really care all that much.
I'll break open the window and throw her out if need be.
Yeah.
Stay behind me.
Yeah. No, I hear there's a real great scoop in the parking lot. Now!
Oh, so you must have...
I hear this Mr. Bitterman has a very interesting life story.
No. If you would talk about it.
So off the record, as she leans in, would you happen to have any stories you can tell? I will omit as many names as possible, of course.
Here I was hoping I'd retire on writing military novels off of these. I suppose I could share a couple. He's just going to heavily doctor some of his boss missions.
Yeah, to make himself look a bit nicer, huh?
Well,
completely forget about the Ireland mission. Forget about the one where you raided a townhouse and just had a poster from it.
Just the exciting stuff, really.
Or the time where you were fighting against a cult and time stopped and you were suddenly knocked out.
Oh, look! All that matters is that zero anomalies are mentioned in the story, and Epsilon 6 doesn't come off as absolute psychopaths. So yeah, just make random shit up based on the stories.
Wait, how do you make Epsilon 6 not sound like absolute psychopaths?
Oh, he was part of them at the time. Can't make himself look bad.
So there's one time in Egypt. I thought one of my friend's bodies were talking to me in a duffel bag.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God. Well, one of his friend's bodies was talking to him in the duffel bag. The fact that none of you could hear it was just interference.
It was just a bit strange.
Yeah, he's gonna talk about the Egypt mission and just paint the ELF as terrorists.
Who
occupied.
Some heavily armed terrorists in Egypt.
Religious zealots who wanted the excavation site for themselves.
Yeah, and someone is working with them.
All right, while you're in talks with the journalist, Boros finally notices Nissa in attendance and struts forward with her groupies in tow. Nissa also steps forward to square up with her.
Tit to tit.
Fucking like that, wouldn't you?
Yes.
Hold on. Were we briefed? Were we briefed on not using cameras in here? Because the reporter seems to only use a notepad, right?
You would assume that'd be a poor form to just bring out a camera and start taking pictures.
Oh, I don't mean taking pictures, just, a hidden camera just to record the conversation between the two of them.
And going tit for tit.
Can I stand between?
If it would be poor form, Banks is gonna avoid it.
Alright, so the two greet each other. Elena, Echo. On a first name basis. Nissa says, you have started taking an interest in Russian military, have you? God, I don't want to talk amongst myself.
You could just give us an overview of the conversation.
Yeah, so it's a somewhat catty conversation, but with Nissa's cold and less expressionful tone, and Boros being absolutely smug. Essentially starting off with Nissa pointing out that Boros is engaging in mundane military affairs, and now and Boros saying back that something was stolen that was rightfully hers. So she's repaying the favor a little.
Fritz is torn between acting like a bodyguard and trying to hide behind Nessa.
Just put yourself between the general and Nissa.
Yeah, act as a bodyguard for the general.
Yeah, because you know for a fact you can't do anything against against Boros. We've tried repeatedly.
At the very least, you
Fucking
can.
work.
Well, at the very least, you can do things to the general, right? You guys want to shake things up for something, don't you?
We
Well, not
could just
necessarily.
shoot him right here and now.
We're
Get
not
it done
gonna,
with.
though.
Don't worry.
Yeah.
We don't
won't.
have to shoot him.
But
I mean, this is gonna
We just have
fucking
to let
stab
him
him
die.
soon enough.
As long as he dies, it doesn't matter what happens.
Well, the reporter mentioned some interesting things about these soldiers.
Hmm.
Yep, they seem to be more loyal to Chekhov than they are to the general. But I imagine if we shot the general, they'd start shooting regardless.
Probably. I mean, yeah.
Oh
Anyway.
god, soldiers are going to say, remember the Russian.
And during the and during
Let me just go
the
get the Maxim.
yeah, during this conversation, the man playing the piano stops. There's some applause on that side of the room. He steps out with one of the arms manufacturers for a breath of fresh air.
Hans is going to
Hold on.
making a very sorry.
I think you staying inside is probably for the best at the moment, right? Because we need to keep an eye on Nissa and the general and Boros and whatnot.
Sure. Who's that who's just entered the building?
Looks like two Russian political figures.
Hans is going to go make his.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, Hans is going to go make his way. I think first to those two, what appears to be noble women. See what he can gather from them. Noble women love gossip, after all. And he will greet them. Hello, I'm Hans Bitterman. Nice to make your acquaintance.
So these. Hello, Mr. Bitterman.
Please call me Hans.
Mr. Hans Bitterman. You have invite to this party?
I'm here with my employer, actually.
You are
getting to know everybody.
You are an employee.
Yes, of a interesting woman.
And then, what line of work are you?
I'm in the work of, shall we say, action.
You are an actor.
And I see things of a sort.
A crisis actor, if you will.
I played a starring role in Sandy Hook.
Oh no. Of a sort.
As the crisis.
Not for any movies or TVs, but I fulfill a variety of roles wherever I'm required to by my employer. Sometimes investigator, sometimes not, shall we say.
Sometimes instigator.
Oh, sounds interesting.
I'm afraid I can't talk too much about it. It's all very hush-hush. Do tell me, what are you two lovely ladies doing here?
We are friends of the general. I know his. I've known his family for a bit. And this here is. And this here is my +1. She has been an actress too of some kind.
Oh, is that something you're able to talk about?
Yeah, she's in the Russian cinema. She used to do ballet, and she is quite fetching for looks.
I can see. For as much as I've done and has been done, my eyes work just fine, and you don't want.
My eyes are not insect yet.
And the
Small shiver.
the actress friend says that you can keep your eyes elsewhere.
I'm afraid, madam, I have a job to keep. I must observe the situation at all times.
Stares directly at her tits. I must observe at all times.
I don't know. He'll look into their eyes.
How do the Americans say you have third chair behavior?
Hans is going to
Oh,
go
you're
mute at that and just look at her with a very blank expression. And just say, actually, no, he wouldn't say anything. He'll just push through.
As he just walks past.
You just say, I see this conversation's come to its
I'll be
end.
right
back.
Okay.
Well, should be good body shields. Walk past them.
I didn't know that he was Italian, walking past them.
Yeah. No, I meant to those other guests who've just entered the building.
I
They can
thought we
resolve
were
anything else
pushing
needs to be
through
resolved.
them, just shoving
No.
them aside.
No, there's no need to make physical contact. They could be thieves. I don't want to lose anything.
Only his dignity.
So, what are the others up to?
They're let's see. Yeah, these are political donors. They're you engage with them in a little bit of conversation. They wonder about who you are, your line of work, how you know the general.
How to keep similarly vague, but won't openly lie.
I'm
back.
Hi, back.
Hi, back. One brain cell.
They have varied levels of interest in your line of work. They don't really have much to say about your vagaries. They just keep relatively polite during the encounter.
Was there anything I can glean from them? Or nothing of importance?
Nothing of incredible importance, mainly that they've been asked to come here for this party, and that the general is joining hands with somewhat important for a great military project.
If they look at Boros, Hans will just try and allude to the fact that it's not going to work out.
Why so? Does this Boros not have any money or anything? Any resources?
She has money, she has resources. She has nothing else. She has no drive or interest, aside from things we can't talk about and aren't suitable for civilized people.
So you know more of this Boros person.
Fucking gossiping about Boros right with an earshot. Good luck.
I know enough that I would like to live.
Actually, would she remember Hans? That's the thing. Probably wouldn't remember Fritz.
They dropped a nuke on her.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
A few times.
You
Well,
tend to remember that even if you survive it.
yeah.
She's
Hey,
probably
Hans,
very pissy about it.
when he can't get anything out of it, he will just move on back to Nissa.
Near Fritz, the conversation slows to a crawl after
Hans will
Nissa
too hide
says that
behind Nissa from Boros.
she wishes to speak with the general. The general looks to Boros first, and then looks to Nissa and says, "Fine, private meeting." And the two go off. Nissa signals for Fritz to stay behind, and they go off to the other building.
Fritz is
lost our
suddenly
shield.
very nervous.
And Boros
nothing people-
immediately sees both Fritz and Hans now that she's not distracted.
Hello, former Director Burroughs. How have you been?
Ja, auf Wiedersehen.
How nice. You've learned manners from somewhere.
There wasn't much time for manners during our last encounter.
I'm sorry, Boris. We didn't pack a nuke this time.
Ja,
We'd love to give you one as a present.
Could you wait a bit while we pour one?
just give us some time. I'm sure we can pack a new party popper. You enjoyed the last one, yeah? God, I'm doing the accent by reflex. I'm trying not to.
I'm afraid that you don't need to prepare a party popper. I can make one just fine out of your head. I'm certain Nissa wouldn't mind.
Yeah. Let's put that on hold.
Banks is just gonna pull the journalist to the side so she doesn't get caught in the crossfire.
So we hear things are going good for your company. There's lots of headway.
Yes, I've heard that you and your ilk had taken something I was very interested in dominating myself.
You know how orders are.
You know,
Yeah.
meant
As
to
we're
be followed.
told.
What was that?
Meant to be followed.
Yeah.
But
We
I
do as
see
we're
your
told,
clones are
Captain.
now. Your clones are now a bit better looking. An upgrade, I see.
Quite a bit better looking.
It's the sunglasses, isn't it?
Yes,
If you'd like,
the black ones were very cliche. These orange tinted ones, they are quite a nice touch.
If you'd like, they can make formidable dance partners. They can bring you to a dark corner, and you may never wish to leave.
As tempting as that sounds, I like my organs where they are. What ones are left, anyway?
And not pulped.
Yeah.
Now, there are two of you, but where are the rest of your bunch?
Wow.
Banks is just becoming furniture.
I'm sure.
Becoming furniture, holding the journalist. Okay.
I'm sure they're around. Only so many people you can bring on places like this.
That
We both
has
know
never
we can't
really.
do anything to you.
It seems like you're
but-
completely unprepared for me to see me.
For preparation or not, there's nothing we can do against you. We know you're not.
Oh no, that's quite rude.
I don't count your heart as a vulnerability.
Still, you'll probably be delighted to know that two of the people who were at the certain containment site are dead.
Yes, those gruesome deaths.
Killed by us.
Wait. Who was at the containment site? It was.
I think it was genuinely one of them was one of the people we killed.
It was
Mason
Miller.
was there. Mason is Miller.
and the two of you.
And do you also count Ginger's character?
Yeah, Solomon
Yes.
too. Solomon's still in
That's
R&D for boss, for all I know.
Yes, one of
Probably
them is
so.
still stuck, I must remember, in R&D. Boss got transferred back because he was being not too useful.
You know, that time
Another
that
one.
you dropped that nuke was very pricey for me. And even then,
Yeah, I'm
I was
sure you
trying to
have-
obtain a box for your current boss.
Yes, but our current boss wasn't our boss then. So orders, we fulfill our orders.
Look,
And
we
I-
directly fought to an organization for that box, so
And how's your keen-eyed man? What was his name? Henry?
Henry, he is currently medically indisposed, but he's still alive. I
Still
heard from
inside.
him that you gave him a contact card.
Well, yes, but if he's taking a hit of whatever Manticorp has, there may be some questions about whether or not he applies for that. Though it's nice to hear that he's clutching to it like a dream.
So genetic modification, or would it be cybernetic modification that invalidates your offer?
I typically don't deal with animals.
Shame. I keep a most wonderful little pet back at home.
Oh yes, I've.
Meanwhile, back at Manticorp Tower, all the alarms are blaring. The head is being extracted.
17th story of windows explode.
It's got a fucking armband with a swastika in between its teeth as it's being led away by some jackasses.
Fucking kingmakers. Also, people that Boris doesn't like.
Well, you know, Banks is keeping hidden for a reason.
Well, clothing brings up such interesting questions, doesn't it, about morality and all that. See, I think it's a wonderful thing. Your clones are obviously very, very dangerous, but very attractive. I see no problems with this technology. It's wonderful.
Fritz just groans.
What?
The man that knows all about technology being wonderful.
He's just facing a poster.
Look, we've all got our tastes. Hans is into clones for whatever reason.
It's because the real ones will just fucking kill me.
As if the fake one won't just fucking kill you.
I stand a chance against the fake ones.
He likes having a chance.
Yeah.
So
like
there's
the
a chance.
That sounds really bad now that I've said it.
He likes to struggle against women. Okay.
I like a struggle. Alright, yeah, I'm digging myself a hole here.
Yeah. So this
Look,
has
Boris
been
is more than willing to dig the hole for you.
So it's been a most riveting conversation. My pet for this evening has is trying to be persuaded by your boss for now. I suppose I will entertain myself in a manner with those that know how to entertain ladies.
Before you leave, and Hans will step in and ask in a quieter voice, I need to know if offers are still available.
You presume to ask me that now?
You've
stepped on my
personal.
You've stepped on my toes quite a bit, and your accent doesn't really give good credence to I was only following orders.
None of it's personal. And no, in those circumstances, I believe I'd quite enjoy myself. Are these offers still open? All I need to know.
She crosses her arms before you, looks to the side for a moment. She then holds out a hand to one of her clones. From a jacket pocket, a clone pulls out a card. Boros passes it back to Hans.
Hans will take the card and tuck it into his own pocket.
Yep, it's an address, date, and time. But there's nothing else attached.
Hans will just read it for a second, tuck it into one of his breast pockets.
If you're serious, show up with as many people as you feel would appreciate that opportunity. And learn some manners by then, Beastie Boy.
I'll have you know, he's a bug, not a beast.
Punch.
Bugs are beasts.
Yeah, Hans is just going to punch Fritz in the arm. He's like, you don't have to say. Not that loud.
Come on, it's likely the last time we meet, we'll see each other.
Especially if you take up that offer.
What it's worth, it really isn't personal. None of it.
All right, so at the other side of the party, Irene has heard a few omitted stories from Rob Banks, but she peeked out into the main floor after where she's been repositioned. She asks, "It looks like you've been hiding from someone, the VIP guest of the party?"
Let's just say that Miss Boros and my associates have a long and storied history.
How interesting. I think I wish to ask such an intoxicating lady about such things.
I'd prefer you not bring me up.
Who would I be referring to then when I say this ex-military group, and you have a long storied history? Could you share a couple stories for me?
I pulled you away for your safety. Miss Boros isn't the type to entertain, shall we say, indiscretions like that.
I don't know, but it looks like so many people wish to entertain indiscretions with her, from what I'm seeing over there.
The general, most of all, I think.
At the least.
I think Hans and Fritz should go link up with Banks at this point.
Well, he is hiding. You want to just draw out his hiding location like that?
Well, we've had to confront the devil, so
man is just smart, all right.
Just knock on the door. You hear a slightly metallic rasp.
I hear your friends are here.
Hey, Mr. Kingmaker!
Yes. You son of a...
in a loud, jovial voice, saying his thickest German accent.
Don't you
Hello,
dare!
Mr. Banks.
Don't you dare!
And then he'll just, Hans is just going to force his way into the room.
You motherfuckers.
Oh, some
Do I don't
other...
even need to roll, do I?
No.
No.
There's no closed door here.
Oh, right, okay. I thought it was like locked or something.
No.
So Hans is just going to force it open.
Banks wasn't that indiscreet by closing the door shut when he got into a private room with the journalist.
How very
What is in
rude
here
of
with
you.
the lovely lady?
Discussing war stories.
Oh,
I see you've
see.
almost had I see you've almost made another one with Miss Boros over there.
Yes, I heard.
She's
I've
not
heard you
happy.
had quite the adventures, especially in such strange places like Ireland and Egypt.
He never mentioned Ireland.
Ireland? What
Ireland does not
Don't talk
exist.
about Ireland. Ireland does not exist. You know this on safety.
He would not. He would never mention Ireland.
What about the cruise ship? Or not cruise ship, the cargo ship?
You mean the one with the totems? Oh god.
No, I think he
Not
meant the
that
one with
one.
the John box, which is also something we probably shouldn't mention on account of it being anomalous.
Yeah, the one where Hans was just sat on a hill on the island just sniping.
Ah, that one where we fucked over Nessa.
Yep.
Manticorp.
Because
3 times, in fact, for that box.
We have fucked over everybody at this point.
We didn't fuck
You
over the
haven't
cabal.
spat in the face of the Kingmakers yet.
Right.
Yeah, the Kingmakers are still willing to accept us.
Yeah. To be fair, if we joined Kingmakers, we would have to be like their bosses, essentially. Like, there's no way we'd accept them because they're weaker than us, right?
You have no idea.
No, I don't. All right. Well, Hans will just take his seat at the table.
Unless, of course, you want to share some other war stories. I was wanting to see if I could get an interview with the lady of the hour, as it were.
Well, let me tell you about my time in Afghanistan where I was a member of the German Bundeswehr.
Let me tell you about my transfers into the out of the Argentinian army. Those aren't classified.
Are either of you keeping an eye on Miss Nissa?
She waved us away.
Yeah, she doesn't want that company. She's not happy. It's stress, you know, that time of month.
Max is just going to say, so sorry about leaving you with these two, Mr. Chanko. But I believe one of the bodyguards should be guarding the person of interest.
Try not to get seen by Miss Bowers.
Try not to be seen by Miss Bonos.
And you intend to have
the window openable?
I suppose so. Yeah. From the inside only.
Not stepping out after they yelled that shit.
Fritz
is going to step out and body block him from view.
Just spread his arms real wide. It's not inconspicuous whatsoever.
God damn it! You're the most conspicuous group.
No, he's going to walk out short before Rob and walk somewhere over here to make sure to draw the eye away.
And I suppose you, gentle. I suppose that you, Mr. German.
Oh, the reporter speaking. Bitterman, Hans Bitterman.
And I suppose that you, Mr. Bitterman, are going to try to keep me in this room.
I don't care.
Oh, then.
You are of no interest to me at all. You want a military target. You want a set.
Well, I did ask her to not mention me to Boros, so.
Then I will go out and talk to the most prestigious lady of the room. Take care.
So, Hans just stop her right before she goes. If you get any information, I have certain contacts you might find interesting. You have contacts I might find interesting. Here's my number. Let's talk business later.
I will remember it.
Arms go off.
Oh, look, conveniently placed trash can.
Yeah. Alright. I guess, I don't know where I should go.
Nonchalantly walking outside, making sure he's got some eyes on Nissa.
Okay, yeah, he sees...
go outside as well, I suppose.
Without interrupting, of course.
Yeah, so he sees across the way Nissa talking with the general within view of the Russian soldiers. A couple of the Russians out here outside smoking. Gentleman over there is smoking a nice cigar. And you can't really get a good detail on the conversation going on between the general and Nissa, but it appears that
Well, Nissa doesn't want us eavesdropping, so Banks is just
Yeah.
going to make sure nobody draws a weapon, more or less.
mhm.
Hans is going to go start walking towards the van.
Okay.
Uninviting yourself from the party.
He'll be back. And I just want to be ready on call in case there's any trouble.
All right. So the journalist begins talking with Boros after getting waved past her bodyguards, which seems to be a thing that the powerful women want to do of late.
And this journalist is hitting a gold mine, and unfortunately, none of us can talk to her about the anomalies.
Yeah,
Lest we
but
make ourselves targets of the fucking Illuminati.
She seems to know quite a bit. Well, she knows about the oil rig for one, although I don't think she knows exactly who did it. So
I'm pretty
she's,
sure she has some inkling that Banks was in some way, shape, or form involved.
probably has some inkling on squad as well, yeah. But you know, so that might be a good source of intel.
Okay.
Hans is quite happy to trade secret for secret.
All right. After some wandering around in the party, your character's phone rings.
Whose?
All of your phones.
Ah, I see. Well, Hans is getting suited up in the van, so he'll answer while he's
It's not
putting his
not
boots on.
Nissa pressing a button or anything, right? This is
No, it's not like a TACPad. It's not a con link or some
actual
security
cell phone.
chirp. It is your cell phones that ring. Let's see.
Banks
If
is
this
gonna
is-
excuse himself.
this is
and,
Mark?
yeah,
Mosh,
answer it.
Hans Wittmann.
Shit, I don't have this one set up anymore. Fuck. All right. Well,
The voice changes make you illegible anyway, so.
actually, no, I do
intelligible.
have. Yeah, I wasn't even going to try it. I was going to test it, but I didn't. I didn't test it out today. So anyway, the voice on the phone comes nice and clear, and a metallic tone behind it. Hello there, former Epsilon 6. This is your friendly neighborhood Cyber Joe talking to you.
Audible sweat drops from all the team members.
I've heard you had some talks with my knight not long ago, and I've come to make good on my promises. And I hope they make good on yours. Drop all pretense of picking up your weaponry right now and vacate the premises going southward, and no harm shall come to you. And I shall fulfill all promises that Sir Screen has made to you.
Now, what exactly? We were just supposed to stand down, right? That's all. That's all that's being asked of us.
All we were asked
Just
was
leave,
to
yes.
not
Stand
get
down and let anything that happens here happen.
Did Banks end up taking the journalist's phone number?
I don't believe you asked.
You might want to grab the journalist on your way out then.
Yep, just
Hans will finish shooting up though. And he's going to grab the hammer from his panther first. sit out back of the van.
You have 3 minutes to make your decision. By that time, your window of safety closes.
So, are we helping out Nissa get out of here, or are we just burning all bridges with?
If we want to alert Nissa, it's as simple as coming in on one of the comlinks and just saying leave, and then coming out and leaving.
Just coming and saying we've got bogeys incoming.
Or just saying hostiles, cutting out. That's it.
We never said we wouldn't tell Nissa what's happening. We just said we wouldn't
get
interject.
Involved, yeah.
And I am listening, by the way.
Say, do you have a plan to dealing with Boros? Because she's here.
I'm sure Cyberjoe will take care of it.
I fully intend on having a dance with the lady herself.
Oh, Boros is your target? Well, good luck and have fun. I wish you the best of success. And he leaves.
Now, Banks is going to walk past Miss Irene. Are the two of them still?
It seemed that they've stopped having a conversation, and that Irene is writing something down in her notebook, taking passing glances at Boros after the conversation concluded.
Banks is just going to
great ass.
Banks is just going to tap her on the arm and tell her to take a walk.
She actually, yeah. So she says, "I am quite where I wish to be. Thank you."
Just grab her.
Just take a walk with me, if you would.
She takes a deep breath, sighs, and then follows after Rob Banks.
And let's just
Hans is going to chuck his
when
walk a bit away and come in.
And when they're out of earshot of anyone, he's going to just whisper, some shit is about to go down. You would do best to get out of Dodge.
She checks the watch on her wrist. I say we have about 2 minutes.
Ah, interesting.
I see. Oh, you're not. Suppose I don't have to bring you out then.
Though it is quite touching of you to think of sparing me whatever's occurring, but I do like to be
nothing to do with niceness,
in the midst of an action.
To do with practicality.
Well, Banks is being awful generous here. Can't burn any more contacts with this mission.
I would leave you my number, but you already have it. Have a good day.
So, did Cyberjoe mention anything about us warning Nissa?
Nope.
She said she's listening.
But she did
she say
it wasn't in the agreement?
Yeah, did she say she was? Did she say it in such a way as to imply that we shouldn't?
Yes.
Ah.
As in she's listening to your comms.
Hans is just going to say over comms as if he's king into the others. Van. And he'll start the engine, slide over to the passenger seat.
Is this open comms to all the Manticorp line?
Or is it just us?
Here's the question.
Just us.
Okay. Just the mission.
I would like to warn Nissa, but even if we warn her, 2 minutes is not enough time to get out, I don't think.
No. Mission assets, so
and it's not like It's not like Cyberjoe
Not
doesn't
really.
have agents inside. What with the journalist?
Well, time to drop our Manticore electronics and leave.
Just smash those phones on
Hans
the
is
ground,
there.
get in the van,
Not just the
and
phones, the sonic emitters to literally everything Manticore branded. Fuck it, break our phones too. Just purchase a burner somewhere. Cyberjoe will know where to contact us anyways.
yeah. All
Hans
right.
isn't going to destroy his phone.
So you drive off, and as you go down the main avenue that they allowed your vehicle to travel upon, you see
Mhm.
red lights from the tree lines. And
Super.
Gonna rack the Maxim.
and you see a couple semis appear on the lawn. Let's see, why is this in a there?
Oh, those are Manticore. Oh, not Manticore. Cabal bots, aren't they?
Oh,
Those are bots.
nice.
Yeah, if we'd stayed behind, we wouldn't have been able to do shit anyways, I think.
I don't think we can fight those things. Boros and this are the only people probably capable of doing anything against those things, like for any period of time. We can. What's the max we've taken out? 3.
Like, we've taken out 3, 2 of which was done by fucking Boros. And 1 of which was done by our Illuminati characters.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
We didn't do
No.
shit.
And Cyberjoe took care of a lot more of them.
It just took all of us focusing on it, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So no, we
There
didn't do
was
anything anyway.
There was a mission where we almost blew up an entire floor with explosives and still, like, barely killed one of them.
Yeah.
Well, you also made the mistake of blowing it up next to a field of nanites too. So.
Well, yeah.
And here's a nice little reveal for. I know you're leaving the scene, but here's a little reveal. There we go.
Well, I'm sure she appreciated the warning at the very least.
She was quite touched. All right, so
All right.
whatever happens, the army comes marching in.
Did Nissa pick up on the local comm?
Nissa
we destroyed our
heard, but by the time she heard, walls were already being broken into, and you guys were nowhere to be found.
Well, we can't do shit against this. We would have died anyways.
I am certain she and the Manticorp hit squad will understand.
Look, worst she can be mad at is that she didn't have three meatballs that would have gone down in one turn.
Yeah. Well, Hans would have taken 2.
True.
Let's see.
Of course.
Out of all of us, Hans is the most durable. Banks is probably the only one who actually could do anything against one of those things because of his explosives. And for it to be the only one who could keep us alive for longer than a turn.
I can erase that.
Yeah, so in the wake of your rapid escape from the deploying forces of the new cabal that showed up, you hear explosions and screaming, but not for long, as you've long since gotten to main access road by this point.
Fritz is going to turn up the radio, just make sure that we don't hear anything with
fucking Little Dark Age is playing.
Yeah.
For some reason, Sabaton's Great War is playing.
Oh no.
Hans is going to
because fuck the cabal is invading Russia.
Hans is going to turn to
so,
the others and say, are these the baddies?
Yes. Yes, we are.
I think this makes us the good guys.
Oh, I do have a card. You don't have to go with the one we've chosen. and Hans will show Boros
I somehow
to the others.
I somehow highly doubt Boris would be appreciative of her new hires not helping her out.
Well, Fritz
he
never
said it
planned
was
on
serious
taking
to
the
show
offer.
up.
So what do you lads think? Europe sounds nice this time of year?
Yeah, nice cabin in the woods, relaxing, smoking. Yeah, sounds nice.
Fritz,
All
will you
right.
help me? I think I'm going to run for Chancellor of Germany.
I'm more of a monarchist myself, but
Well, Cyber's is right up your alley then.
Saying,
All right. So
the title, my friend.
So it's a bloody massacre for the Russian forces, for the general.
Yep. General died.
For General Zaryov. Some of the, I wouldn't call them civilians, but some of the very important people make it out of the party. The military forces are completely overrun.
I imagine
Russian news.
Cyberja wanted alive.
Yeah, Russian news says a lot of stories about German automatons attacking. A lot of it is filtered through by a lot of it being conspiracy theory channels, and the rest being that some Ukrainian super weapon is blown up on an important pro-Russian event.
How well covered is this? Because I imagine the Illuminati doesn't want the automatons getting out.
No, they'd want to keep that public.
Yeah, so a lot of the initial stories are burnt out. What you can assume. Well, actually, not many of you guys have experience with the Illuminati, guys, but you get some stories about some from conspiracy theory sites, probably being the closest to the truth, where during a high class drug party for Russians, people thought they saw metal men attacking after a Ukrainian missile hit the building. But none of the stories seem to mention the presence or absence thereafter of Echo Nissa or Boros, though she didn't make any stories initially either.
I'm sure we'll be informed by our new benevolent master if either of them survived, or how either of them survived.
Well, you can always
make you regret your decisions.
Well, Havoc can always visit one of them in a cage. It's a very nice cage.
I wonder what happens to the rest of. Yeah, I wonder what happens to the rest of Manticorp, or rather, rest of Ares team.
Well, who knows?
It's not like they entirely betrayed him.
Nope. Well, this wasn't the same sort of betrayal as it was for Boss. Like unlike the other one, we didn't try and get conspirators. Like this was
you just escaped.
Quiet. Yeah, this was a quiet defection. We didn't actively.
So first stop for our van is the safe house where we kept your pet. Yes. And also probably pick up Peter and I'm just going to say Mud wasn't in on this, or was it Lucy?
I guess Lucy was there. So was Mud.
Lucy was also picked up for whatever reason. She knows too much, though she can't remember.
She doesn't know anything.
She can't remember it, but she knows too much.
Yeah, Num doesn't know anything. Blythe doesn't know anything. I don't think that any of the casters, know anything, do they?
Even if they did, they can't really defect.
No.
Well, Nagonko maybe, but
Nagonko.
No, he's under. Yeah, he's under the treatments. So yeah.
Oh yeah. I think the only one that would be able to be blind, and he didn't know.
All right,
The only one I feel
so
sort of bad for sticking in Manticorp is Norman. He didn't deserve this.
Hmm.
damn,
I mean, they
there's
won't
no way
be.
he told Blake.
Yeah.
Well, he
no
couldn't
one
really
told
tell
anyone
him.
anything.
Yeah. We couldn't really tell anyone.
Not really. What? Okay, so
So you make it
we
to
arrive at the
your
safe house.
you make it to the prearranged meeting point, which I think was where you blew up the boss base.
Oh,
And
okay.
by the time you're there, you're greeted by Havoc and Screen. I don't have this on here, so it's gonna.
Yeah.
Oh, hi, Mark.
Hi, Mark. It's bullshit, I
Hello,
tell you.
Mark.
I did not hit her.
I did not.
I did not. Oh, hi, Mark.
So,
Uh,
Mark, we have some discussions to make about Chancellor. Yeah.
Look, I did my best.
So, what about these control robots, nanites, that the Cabal has inside of us?
Yeah, I
It seem-
hear that it's hardened in response to physical trauma. Is this true?
Not those types of nanites.
You're. Look, sorry, Fritz. You're gonna catch a stray for this one, but no, you're not all Fritz.
What?
It hardens in response to physical trauma.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So, what if? Look, there's a lot to talk about here. Do you really want to start about the quote unquote liberation of your German race right now?
I'd prefer that I would be cleaned of these mind control nanites first. Then we could talk. But
Yeah.
but I know it will
Complexity
take time, so
killed.
let's drive to safety first.
Right. Once we're in the limits of Europe, I'm assuming the Queen will want to grant you some rewards personally. Though from what I've heard of her, she says that in no way are you, with some exceptions, in no way are you engaging in personal operations because none of you can sneak for worth a shit.
I'm fine with that.
Banks,
You can't sneak.
Banks is just glad she doesn't have a proper profile on him.
Oh, I'm perfectly great at stealth because nobody can know you're there if no one's alive to know you're there.
Look, you guys are massive attention whores.
Please.
On accident, but still attention whores. Like who the fuck?
Like you were,
Put yourself down for
like
that
you
as
were
well,
any
then.
better.
Look, who blows up a stairwell in a Russian hotel?
That was
That's not
numb.
me.
Actually, that was none. That's not any of us.
We
That's
weren't
not
Sure,
there.
any
it was
of
Ares
you.
Sure, it was
but-
Ares' theme, but
The only one there was Lucy, and she's unconscious in a corner from alcohol.
And she's not taking any part in military operations either.
Oh, please. You know, I'm great at military operations. Look at my record. How many people have I killed?
And how many stories has Boss and or the Illuminati had to cover up for you?
I'd imagine not
That's
all of
the
them.
literal
Most of the time, no one's alive to even know that I was there.
Anyways,
Tell
I'm
me,
fine with early
interrogator's
retirement.
dead now?
What was that, Invader?
Yeah, I was just going to say, I was promised military command and a position of power.
Okay, I'll work on that a little bit more. But for right now, she's still going with the current command structure of the Council of Lords. He has to correct himself for some reason.
Get me killed of these nanites and fix this rampancy. I know you can.
We'll bring both you and Fritz under if you really want to undergo procedures.
After
And
hearing his misstep on the Council of Lords, Fritz is just rubbing his eyes. It's all women, isn't it?
You know, your moralism won't serve you as well as you think.
Say, what's the state of the Vatican? Just out of curiosity.
Completely untouched so far.
I see. So they were already converted fully.
Is it still under what was Cabal?
That's a bit complicated of a matter. Look, it is very easy to brain hack the Pope for some reason.
What do you mean for some reason? They're all 80, 90.
And the last one was German.
For what it's worth, Banks says, when you do take the Vatican, I have some business there.
Yeah, as long as it doesn't make local papers, that's fine.
Get me and my pet on a plane to Germany and get these nanites out of my system. We can talk about what I'm owed after that.
All right, it's not a plane. We're gonna take a cargo chopper to the nearest border, and then we'll take a plane once we meet up with Her Highness.
Yeah. Fine.
Speaking of,
she
didn't seem like she didn't seem like she needed our help with the combat, but surprised she didn't ask anyways.
Quite frankly, she's taken the approach that it's better. She is better off leaving all variables out of the equation.
Look, I'm fine not having to fight Boros and Nessa, so I agree, actually.
That's a conflict we don't want.
To be fair, I'm surprised that she did, but I'm guessing she's not actually fighting Boros. She has.
Need to get recordings of that.
She has something of an obsession, but I didn't say that.
You can't fight Boros anyway. There's nothing you can do against it.
Oh my god, is she still salty about these immortality pills?
We don't know about that.
What?
No, that was out of character.
Who's to say?
Cyber Joe's isn't salty about the pills. It's that she didn't get to pop any with an elf lady.
Alright. Haj is going to completely divest himself of all his Manticorp armor, aside from the auto-injectors. He's keeping those attached to him.
Banks is just going to pile all of the Manticorp gear we have into a nice pile, and then all of the C4 he has on top of that pile,
and toss in a thermite.
Yep.
Hans will just look to screen and say, there's probably some trackers in my cybernetics. You might want to get those off.
Like we said, we're meeting somewhere within Europe, and we'll take care of that. All right, and
I doubt Manticorp Command is in any state to currently send anyone after us, anyways.
I'd never be too sure. We didn't think they would send anyone from Boss after us so quickly, and they did.
Well, Eris is entirely out of commanders. 4-9 exists, but with the original Nissa preoccupied, she doesn't have the authority to do anything.
True.
Havoc isn't there. Havoc isn't there. Havoc isn't there to lead Eris' team. And I was supposed to be the commander for this one. Yeah.
The three most senior members just left.
Yeah. I wouldn't
Oh.
trust none to lead anyone. It's more likely
Oh, and
to get themselves killed.
I've contacted those miscreants that you used to get your pet. Of course, they don't know it
Yes.
was me for reasons.
I don't care.
I got them to inject a little something back into their mainframe. So, Fritz, you can see your girlfriend sometime soon.
Huh, nice bonus. Thanks.
Always looking out for you, bud.
Now tell me my cat's unharmed, so we can leave.
Well, I suppose it's one long road trip ahead of us.
Yep. So
Oh, anyone want some Panzer chocolate?
everyone declines, including the. Let's see, who are they
Including
again?
pet.
Including Matrix and Cutter, who are also there.
Fine, suit yourselves, prudes.
Look, we can grab some real snacks on the way.
Some beer.
Once we're in Europe.
Oh, yeah.
Pop in a nice cold one with the boys.
Haven't been in Vienna for
Yeah.
such a long time.
All right, so you guys.
I've never been to Germany, but everything I remember is a wonderful place.
Yeah. So, let's see. Do I end it here or? Yeah.
I guess you do. I guess this is it.
Yeah.
Well, a little bit later of an epilogue. Yeah, you do meet with Cyber Joe. Cyber Joe does have to inject you with the knife that she gained a bit ago to take some personal care of your nanite situation. And she makes zero mention of the covered container that is heavily fortified that she has to bring aboard the liner with her.
Hans going to pointedly not look at it.
She has to tell Havoc to just wait it out a month.
Wait,
Cyber
is
Joe,
that a real Nessa or?
Possibly.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, and strangely enough,
So
one of these is there too.
We get to recreate it.
Perfect.
Oh, I see you brought one of
Let's
those
go.
pets. I've got my own. I don't have a camera.
Unfortunately, we didn't bring Norman.
Oh,
God,
wait,
you
no, I
should have told the
also-
Kingmakers to just abduct Norman.
Hans just pulls out his cell phone. Just goes, "We're ready."
Look, I don't think that's high enough quality for what we're planning to film here, but
You need
No,
some
no,
of the
no.
good cameras.
No. So, you've got professional lighting and all that set up. Nice sound quality, guy.
Are you asking Screen or Cyber Joe?
Yes.
which of them would be more likely?
Cyber Joe, there we go.
She makes no comment and says, on that, but says, now once we get into Europe, I want the most of you out of these affairs as much as possible.
Look, considering our last two employers, how we ended our relationships with them, I can't really blame you.
Well, considering our last employer didn't ever fulfill half of what they promised us, it can't be blamed. Remember how we weren't meant to be grunts on the ground? We were meant to have our own grunts to order around on the ground?
Yeah.
Am I the only one who remembers the promises that they made and never get fulfilled? Really?
Yes.
It's fine.
Ugh.
Unfortunate,
Anyway.
but
You can fix this some issues I'm having. Yes, Cyberjoe, miss?
Are you talking about
So-
your bug issue or the other
The
issue where you...
The insanity anytime something goes slightly wrong.
Yes, that can be fixed with right away. We have some good doctors being trained in Vienna as we speak.
Good. I don't like going insane.
I
Insane.
think you were long since been there.
Please, I'm perfectly fine. I'm very sane. What you mean to say is psychotic. So what they all refer
He
to me
doesn't
as.
mind. He doesn't mind going psychotic. In fact, he likes it.
I like Schmike. It's weird though that the sight of phosgene bubbling on someone's skin makes me hungry.
That's the insect part. Don't worry.
Yeah. I
Oh
fear
no,
it
right.
isn't.
I had a cursed parallel. I'm not gonna say it.
God.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So,
the Manticorp campaign is essentially over with this because you'd have to perform a second rescue of your boss, and
Yep.
from a much hardier foe.
And none of us are particularly inclined to rescue her either.
no. Well,
Not like the first. Not maybe Blythe and the other caster because they're
the
Manticorp.
new ones, yeah. The new
Yeah.
characters might. The old ones, like Numb. And
Oh, the old
others-
ones are gonna. The new ones are gonna get their fucking asses beat by the old ones. I think.
Yeah.
But by the old ones and the fucking Wolfgangs. Fucking
Yep.
love these.
Yeah. Ah,
God, that was gonna be a fight.
Oh, no, it wasn't. It was gonna be a slaughter.
yeah.
Well, I'm just surprised you didn't. Well, I mean, because you saw Boros, you didn't immediately just shoot the general and get done with it.
We could have.
Oh, we weren't gonna because
Hmm.
for all we knew, Nissa still wanted him alive.
I expected 3 ways this was going to end.
Oh, go on.
With us dead, or with us dead.
No, you were either going to attack the general, attack Boros, or decide to defend Nissa and fight off Cyberjoe and friends.
Well, okay. Fight off Cyberjoe. That's not an option. We're all cybernetic up. She could turn us off.
That would
Literally.
be a problem for you,
She
yes.
turns us on, but she could turn
No,
us
no,
cybernetic off.
She could have turned Fritz off.
Yes.
And Hans.
He still has the nanites. Or had the nanites.
Also, that actually,
The only one who could at any point fight her was Banks, and he's just smart enough not to.
Yeah. Because Hans could also be turned off because of the nanites. And even if she didn't use the nanites, she could have just turned his cybernetics off. And because they're body wide, he'd
be crippled.
Stop.
Yeah.
Like he'd have to rely on his what is left of his muscles and his bones to move. There's probably not a lot left anymore.
Well, for what it's worth, I think most of these characters get a nice retirement.
something resembling
We'll
one,
hear-
yes.
We'll hear in the news about a new military leader rising in Germany. You know, he makes great speeches in beer halls.
New General Bitterman.
Yeah. Strange.
Alright, well,
He's from Argentina originally.
Well, I think you're allowed to have your military campaign in Africa, but Germany may be a few years off still.
Oh, it's Hans is happy to go fight a
Hans can
war in
wait.
Africa.
He become an African warlord from Argentina.
He becomes an African warlord, and then once he wins the war in Africa, he goes back to Germany just in time for another war.
No, what it is, Cyberjoe stages some false flag attack on a German asset. Germany declares war, and Hans just rises to power that way.
Well,
Meanwhile, Fritz is sitting in his nice forest house, smoking.
Nice,
So-
nice
nice log cabin with a floor length screen so you can see his
No,
his waifu every day.
On top, it's like a normal forest cabin. Beneath it, it's an entire fucking data center just to keep echoing.
Data center
Nuclear
slash
power.
data center slash BDSM dungeon.
It's got those like mist hologram things. You know, where it's just a mist shower and it's lasers firing an image into it of Echo. Yeah, it's just constant. You know, once a week they get a call in from someone about some issue.
Oh god.
Look, some people keep their subs chained up in their basement. Fitch is keeping his dom chained up in his basement.
What a strange relationship the two of them have.
Well,
Banks is
the
off
only
sorting out his business in Vienna.
Yeah, and
Banks is busy doing Kingmaker shit across Europe now.
So, this is the temporary ends for our characters. Hans is off in a war in Africa. The
Always
Banks
has
is
been.
off doing crimes, being gay.
Always
Fritz
has
is in his Fritz is in his cabin, being bullied by his electronic wife.
and Havoc is hoping to fix his wife.
Havoc is
Allegedly.
doing what he can. Havoc is doing what he can to un-anomaly the Nissa.
Yeah.
No, that's cursed. All right, well, I'm done. I'm done streaming this. So
Fuck you, un-anomalies, your Nissa.
she lost the monocle from it. No.
Oh no! How is the pet gonna react when it finally gains sentience?
That you have a good half a year until it happens.
Okay, all right, half a year to come up with some lie to tell it.
But you have 2 months until it enters stage 2, and you gotta learn some restraint. Lots of restraint.
You mean restraining techniques?
No. You don't know exactly how they progress, but let's just say stage 2 is lust.
Oh my!